You know, we all talk about how the left wing of the media is pretty much losing their marbles, right? Sonny Hostin on The View, Whoopi Goldberg to an extent, Joy Behar maybe, well, probably more than maybe. And then, of course, Joy Reid over at MSNBC and so on. We talk about all of them, losing their marbles and not being upset, not being happy, I should say, with the results of the election almost 2 weeks ago this Tuesday. But yet they have to understand that the people have spoken. The people have spoken by saying, we're concerned about how we're going to have enough money to put food, clothes, and gas, into our livelihood. Food on the table, clothes on our backs, clothes for our kids, gas in our cars, money to pay our bills. We're concerned about that. They're coming out and saying we're sick and tired of all these illegals coming into our country from across the border or by boat or plane or whatever and taking our stuff, basically taking over our lives. We're sick and tired of them coming in and through our money getting debit cards to buy food and clothes for their for themselves and all that. We're sick and tired of our money going to new houses being built just for them to move in instead of us. We're sick and tired of that. And yet you have all these media people from the left wing, like Joy Reid, like Sonny Hostin, to an extent Goldberg, to an extent, or more than an extent, Joy Behar. You have all of them. Morning Joe on MSNBC. You have, and several others, maybe even on CNN as well. You have a lot of them not realizing and not accepting, that, people have spoken and they're losing their marbles over it. But they're not the only ones. No. What's really shocking is you're hearing about teachers and college teachers and professors losing their marbles. High school, maybe even middle school teachers. Grade school teachers probably have more sense than middle school and high school. But high school to potentially middle school, teachers losing their marbles. You have college teachers and professors losing their marbles. Why? Why? Because the people spoke to me. People have spoken? Is that why? Is that why you're losing your marbles? Because the people have spoken? Seriously. What did you expect to happen when, in that first debate between Biden and Trump, and Biden showed everyone exactly what people knew and was trying to hide, or the Dems were trying to hide, Pelosi was trying to hide, when he showed the true colors, exactly what people knew was going on, been reporting going on, what did you expect was going to happen? What do you think the result was going to be? What do you think the result was going to be when Pelosi, who one person who used to be an advisor for her, is accusing her, not advisor for her, but an advisor for Harris, is accusing her of doing? Huh? A former advisor went on CNN and said that Pelosi, and this is an advisor to Harris and I believe Biden to a point, but she went on CNN and said it was Pelosi basically that's responsible for what happened, for the change in the guard when it came to the presidential election, for the Dems. She's the reason. What did you expect when Pelosi was behind that, happening? If you believe her or not, and I'm sure some do, if not most do, and some may not, and most don't. But still, what did you expect was going to happen? Huh? What did you expect was going to happen, when that change occurred? And here you had Kamala Harris being given a broken campaign, being given handed on a silver platter the leftovers of a broken campaign from Joe Biden. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think Donald Trump was going to lose? Did Joy Reid, Whoopi Goldberg, Sonny Hostin, Joy Behar, Morning Joe, did these teachers and college professors that are losing it, did they expect him just to lose? Oh, because now it's Harris and not Biden? No. What did they expect was going to happen? I mean, yeah, Trump had some flubs here and there, but in the end, it was the people that spoke. And they saw that he was making more of an effort than Harris was even doing, and even Biden before her. And yet you have all these teachers, and yet surprisingly you have all these teachers and college professors and all that losing their minds. You have one teacher go on Instagram and threaten harm and violence to any Trump supporters. And then, after realizing her post went viral and that she lost her job because of that, she goes on the local news station, or one of the local news stations, and through, as people would assume, fake crocodile tears. And I do apologize for that vibration there, guys. That is a email that I got. I do apologize for that, and I do apologize for any future vibrational notifications that come in. Those are going to be emails, texts, and all that. But again, as I was saying before that little interruption there, she goes, after she finds out that her post went viral and the school district got a hold of it and they terminated her because of it. What happens? She goes on one of the local news stations and, through, as many people put it, fake crocodile tears, weeps and moans like, "Oh, nobody was supposed to see that. I was just frustrated." Lady, if you didn't want nobody to see it, then why did you do it? Why didn't you just, I don't know, go on your laptop or your computer at home and type up your frustration saying, "I don't like that, and keep it to yourself"? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that instead of posting it for the whole world to eventually see? Because you weren't thinking. You were mad. You were letting your emotions run rampant with you. There is a thing called venting, all right? There's a thing called venting, all right? And I've had many people in my family call up and basically for 30 to 40 minutes vent on the phone, and me and my other relatives, when they would call me or them, we would listen. We would let them get it out of the system, and after they got out of the system, they'd take a deep breath, they'd be like, and they'd be like, "Okay, got it out of my system." All this lady had to do was put her Instagram or whatever on private, just for herself. Look, just for herself. Put it on private. Nobody sees it, just her. Just herself. Have the camera looking at her, have herself being seen in the camera, and then just vent away, keep it to herself. That's all she had to do. She didn't do it. But and because of that, now she doesn't have a job. Oh, and she's not the only one. You have a high school teacher who used to be very popular, and I got to give credit to Pops in Politics for some of these, because it just surprised me when I found out about this one, and I got to give credit to them. But what's crazy is you have this one high school teacher who used to be, apparently, from what I'm understanding, very beloved, very popular, very liked, among teachers and students. And yet, the moment after the election, when Trump is elected, the day after or so, what happens? His true colors apparently start coming out. His true colors start coming out when a student walks in with a MAG cap on, with an MAGA, MAG cap on. And it's like, it's like, look, everybody has a right to wear what they want to wear. Some of us will be cautious. I have a hat that I got at the Apricot Fiesta a couple of years ago that says, basically something like "stand for the flag, kneel for the cross," instead of "kneel for the flag" and all that, right? So I have that, okay? And I was going to wear it the day after the election, but I thought better of it. I said, "Nah, I don't want to take a chance. I'll let things cool off and everything if I ever do wear it." The point is, we all have a right to wear a hat, even in school. But we also know that when we're in school, high school or college or middle school or grade, we have to take that hat off during class. Not a problem, right? Well, this teacher, the moment he sees his student wear the hat, and even after they take it off, he loses it. All because it's a Trump supporting hat. And all of a sudden it's like he does not realize he's being recorded. He doesn't realize he is being recorded. So what happens is that, he is just losing it. He doesn't care if he gets fired and everything. He's trying to protect his daughters. And then what's crazy is from what I listened to, because Pops and Politics highlighted this, it's like he's saying that Trump did the R word to them. And it's like, how did he do it to them? And what I think he was insinuating at, is that Trump, did the R thing to this one girl, and through this one girl, or various girls, did it to his daughters. Like through these various girls he did the R thing to, he did to his daughters through them. Like, what sense does that make? That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? That is probably the dumbest reasoning, period. I mean, because one, we don't know what he has done and hasn't done and all that. We don't know. These are all accusations, all assumptions and all that. We don't know. And yeah, did he do some bad things? Absolutely. But as I've been told many times growing up, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. My parents aren't perfect. My sisters are not perfect. Nobody's perfect, and not even the leaders of our country, if not our world. They are not perfect. But sometimes they're the best people for the job, no matter how we feel about them. No matter how we feel about them. Period. End of discussion. But again, this guy, who used to be very likable, very popular, and everything, long term, I guess, over there as a teacher, shows his true colors. And now, here's what's interesting. One of the ladies on Pops and Politics was surprised that he got suspended, put on indefinite leave, and not fired. My assumption is because they know students do like him. He's one of those teachers that students do enjoy, going to class for. That they realize students, parents, and even teachers do like him, that what they're doing, instead of straight out fire him, which one of the ladies on Pops and Politics, they have a right to feel this way, believes they should have done. I feel what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we'll give him administrative leave, maybe for the rest of the year, let him cool off, let him get his emotions down, let him cool off, and then maybe after the inauguration or something like that, we'll bring him in. We'll bring him back. That's my thought. I'm thinking of probably putting him on administrative leave to where he's going to, let's say, hey, take a break, cool your jets. We get what you don't, we get you're not happy, but cool your jets, calm down, and we'll bring you back next year, and hopefully, you'll be more reasonable by then. But we'll see. They might just flat out terminate him. Who knows? But that's the one thing, too, that these teachers, high school, middle school, I'm assuming some middle schoolers, middle school teachers, I should say. I'm assuming some, some middle school teachers, high school teachers, college teachers, professors. I mean, there's one professor, according to one of the ladies in Pops and Politics, that basically told the students because they voted for Trump or the parents voted for Trump, oh, just go jump off a cliff. And he meant it. All because he doesn't like the guy. It's like, look, everybody has their own personal point of view. We understand that. We all believe, in our own, we all believe in our own beliefs and what we do. We're set in our ways, as the old saying goes. But that doesn't mean that just because you're set in your ways, that doesn't mean you should bring your personal political views to work. All right? There's an old saying. That whatever happens in the house stays in the house. Okay? Whatever you believe and feel, personally, stays at home. You don't bring it to work. All right? You don't bring it to work. You leave it there. But yet, people just cannot get over this. They cannot. And every day that Trump continues to fulfill, finalize and fill up his cabinet, for the next 4 years or 2.5 years for some of them, the more he fills it up and makes it finalized, the more that reality starts to set in with them, like, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. But yet it is. I mean, again, one of the people I follow on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and even now Blue Sky, I'm assuming, Alex Hicks, formerly Deluxe Man, just Alex, who has a wrestling channel. He went silent on Twitter for a while. He went silent on Twitter, or he's been silent on Twitter, only popping up every now and then, but very silent, because even he is, like, I think, realizing that as much as he wants to believe a recount's going to happen, or there's something there that is yet to be uncovered, and if it's uncovered, we'll get what we want. I think the reason he's gone silent, in my opinion, is he's basically accepting reality. He's accepting reality of the fact that no matter how much he would like all of that to happen, the recounts, something possibly coming, something notable coming about, say, hey, this is how he won, and now he's disqualified, and Kamala's going to be in. I think the reason people like him go silent on social media, who hope for this kind of stuff, is because, again, reality's starting to set in. And they want to give themselves time to process it. They want to give themselves time to process it and, just be ready to move on and, accept, okay, this is what the next 4 years is going to be like. Fine. I'll just leave it at it. I'll just do what I can to, be accepting of it, if you will. I'll do what I can to accept it and live with it and see what the results are. And you know what would be best for some of these teachers? Take a page out of that. If once they saw what happened and they knew that anger and emotion that they had, what they should have done is call up the school district and say, look, man, or call up the university and say, look, man, I can't work for a while. I can't come into work for a while for mental reasons. And if they ask, what do you mean? They say, because I'm not happy with the election results. I'm afraid I'm going to blow up on somebody or a student. So I want to take some leave right now. I'm letting you know ahead of time, get a substitute or something, but I'm not going to be coming in for a while until I cool off. That's all they had to do. Take a page out of that. Go silent. And what's crazy is you even have some of these teachers taking advice from psychiatrists in training or new psychiatrists that don't know a thing about the field, as well as some of the media moguls that I've mentioned, like Joy Reid, well, not Joy Reid, but Sunny Hostin, Joy Reid, if you will, basically taking the suggestion of, Thanksgiving's coming up, the holidays are coming up, Christmas is coming up. Our advice, don't spend time with the Trump supporters of your family. Axe them out of your life for at least a bit right now. Don't spend the holidays with them. No, don't do that. And you know what that sounds like to me? Childish. That sounds childish. That's like, it's basically you're being a child going like, wee, I didn't get my way. You voted for, you didn't play fair. You're not my friend anymore. Get away from me. You dirty, wee. That's what it sounds like. And you know what I say to Joy Reid and Sunny Hostin, that psychiatrist, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but do me and anybody else a favor that sees the ridiculousness you guys are acting as, and grow the F up. Grow up. Okay? Grow up, accept what's happened, and move on. Because you know what's going to happen? And somebody super chatted the Pops and Politics ladies during the live stream. And one of these people said? They said they're not going to be surprised if Sunny Hostin or Joy Reid ends up as YouTubers in the future. They're not going to be surprised. They're not going to be surprised whatsoever. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised either. I wouldn't be. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to see that teachers, of all things, high school, middle school, high school, college teachers, professors, acting this way. It is such a shameful thing to look at. It's shameful. Because again, what they should have done is take a page. They should have taken a page out of the playbook of those that are going silent on social media. And that play that they should have taken a page out of is call up, email the work, and say, hey, we're not going to be in for a while because we're not happy with the results and we don't want to, basically blow up at anybody, unprofessionally. So we're going to take a leave of absence until, a certain amount of time. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's the rest of the year, whatever the case may be. And if they would have done that, in my opinion, I think we wouldn't be, I don't think we'd be hearing any of these stories. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. I mean, you got basically teachers at Harvard and Yale and Penn coming out and saying, oh, classes are canceled today because Trump didn't win. Oh, Trump won and everything, and Harris didn't. So classes canceled, everybody. Oh, well, bye-bye. Again, those professors, those teachers of those very high institutions that anybody would want to get in. Anybody. Well, the very high institutions of Harvard, Yale, and Penn, for them to come out and say, oh, class is canceled because Trump won and I'm not happy. Again, like I said earlier, that's the equivalent of that suggestion of not being around relatives for the holidays. That's the equivalent of, oh, wait, I don't want to associate with anybody. Wait. Grow up, okay? Look, I understand people have a right to feel the way they want to feel. But if you're in a profession where your job is to teach the next generation, about what life is, so they can have the education they need to go into that life and make something of themselves. Look, we all have a right to our opinion, but when it comes to something like this, keep it to yourself. Leave it at home. Leave it at home. Because once you leave it at home and you focus more on your job, you'll be good to go. When I clock into my job, my work side goes on. The work side of my mind goes on. And I'm like, yeah, I can be myself a bit, but I got to be serious. I got to be full on. Let's get the job done. Let's get it going. Let's do the damn thing. That's my mindset. Get the job done. Let's do the damn thing. Okay? That's my mindset. But when I clock out and I come home, as soon as I enter these doors here at my house, and I lock them, I close them, and I put my things away, I can be myself. I can let anything I feel come out. And you know what that's called? Professionalism. It's called being a professional. And these teachers, these professors, and even those that are inciting them to do it from the media are not being. Instead of leaving your feelings about what happened at home, you're bringing it to work. And that's not good. That's not good. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on all this. How do you feel about the idea of teachers and professors that are supposed to educate students for the, for the next step in their lives? How do you feel about them acting the way they are? How do you feel about that one teacher going on Instagram saying what she did, losing her job over it, and then shedding what people call fake crocodile tears on a local news station, all because she got caught? Huh? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the one teacher in the high school that, basically was very popular with students and everything, and teachers and all that, very likable, saying letting his true colors come out? What are your thoughts? Let me know what your thoughts are on all this. And let me know if you've heard of anything else. Love to hear your thoughts overall. Ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, like the video, click on the links in the description. And until next time, guys, I'll talk to y'all later, but let me know what your thoughts are. Love to hear love to hear how you feel about all this. And until then, I am out.